but it's a little known fact that the artist frequented a local brothel in the French district of Delft, which is the same area that the Leonardo da Vinci lived for a number of years. And it's actually thought that this might be a rendition of the Mona Lisa. So, Emily, I've told you a bit about myself. Tell me a bit about you.
I thought the stylistic conceit of the painting setup was interesting. I think you're used to going to a gallery or seeing a piece of art or painting and seeing the characters and imagining, who they are in the three-dimensional sense as opposed to just who they are in the painting. And I thought that the piece had a good approach to it that had a very sort of self-aware and insightful approach to the main character's life, how she was viewing her future, and how she was trying to approach her decision making. And I thought that all the other characters created a good reflection of that process for her that made it seem sort of like an insular, a psychological dynamic that's happening within herself, but also playing out in an external way with these characters that made it compelling and interesting to watch. So I thought that the dialogue was well written, and I thought most importantly the setting and the costume design was really great. It had made it feel very natural, and it had a really great reflection of the art, and I just felt like it felt like a live painting. It was designed in that type of way and created with a sort of aesthetic and a setting and stylistic approach that was very deliberate. And I thought that it came out pretty well and it worked well in sort of creating a mood around her that allowed the discussion-based conceit to work in the way that it intended. So I ended up enjoying the piece. Thought it was well designed, had a good musical approach as well. I thought that was pretty good, and a nice sort of pacing with the editing, especially as we moved to the piece and moved through the particular aesthetics of the gallery, the piece, the outside setting as well. So I thought it was very well done, and I ended up enjoying it overall.
Storyline was so original and unique and lovely. I thought that the performances of everyone were so good, and I think it gives like a new interpretation of getting lost in a painting and really making those like dream fantasies come to life. And not only was she able to go and visit, she was also able to stay and have someone else take her place. Um, I just thought it was so sweet and lighthearted and unique and original.
Life imitates art and art imitates life. This revolves around forms of expressionism and affection, friendship, love, choosing yourself, and your own version of happiness. This moment in the gallery between the two characters, you don't really notice this romantic relationship even exists. You see that. There's a fine line between the guests watching the paintings, then finding interest in their partner. She is transported into the artwork herself, a painting of the gallery being viewed from the other side. The production designer and costume designer do a wonderful job mimicking this work of art and bringing it into reality. You get a sense of belief and ultimately know where you've been transported. He tries too hard, they say. He wears glasses but can see perfectly fine. Through these words, they shape the way that we see this man and that we've had a small introductory with already. Each person standing in front of the painting has their own experience and train of thought. There's a sense our guest wants to be in the company of friends as opposed to lovers. She swaps places with one of the artist's subjects, for she's chosen to stay behind as she feels the sense of belonging, what she truly wants as she switches places with the one who wants to find love. And it's a really fun, lighthearted piece.
I think it's really interesting that you have this character go into a painting. I can't remember what series I used to read as a kid, but it was very reminiscent of that. So I really enjoyed um, this concept as a whole. I think you do a great job of, having them be insightful characters and really like helping helping this main character solve her problem and get to the end of it in this really interesting way. I think it was a great use of the medium and being able to replicate these people within the painting. I think it was a lot of fun. Um, Overall, it came together to be really, really interesting to watch. Very helpful, a concise story, an easy story to follow.
I very much thought it was the whole example of essentially escapism and identity, in the sense that there's the part of you that feels like you have to do certain things in order to conform, in order to feel like you belong. But then there's the other aspect of essentially being yourself and being with the things that make you happy, i.e., your passions. Uh, that was very much the general message of it. Uh, and then the painting came out of the painting, where they kind of swapped places. Uh, that part was very interesting. Uh, I definitely have to think more about that part to get a read on that. But I think from what I have so far, it's definitely that message of don't go through with something just because you think that's what you're supposed to do. Go through with something that makes you happy. And in this case, being one with the art is what made our protagonist happy.
All of us have wished we could go into a painting, we wish we could just enter that world. So it was nice to see something here where this young lady is able to enter this world and and find yourself. It was so we kind of got a real story about somebody looking for a sense of identity and finding it, and then we also got the experience of the fun of going into the painting and being able to talk to these people. So we got a real story told in a fantastical way, in a magical realism way. But great job casting everybody and getting everybody to duplicate the painting. That was really great.